Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou, and if this is your first time joining us today, welcome to you. This channel is all about talking about Christian fiction books and things that spin off from that. So if you would like to see more of that kind of thing, please do subscribe to my channel, and if you want to know exactly when I'm posting, click on the notifications bell. I'm going to be doing a video that is one of my favourite things, that is looking forward to books that are coming out in the future, and I really love looking for new things. I have a kind of new shiny object syndrome where I see something new and it's like, oh, I have to look at that. There are several books that I am excited to read next year. These are all in different genres, but they are all in the category of Christian fiction. So let's have a look and see. On the 1st of January there is an historical fiction called The Thief of Blackfriars Lane by Michelle Griep. Michelle Griep is an author that is just new to me. I read one of her Christmas books and really loved it, so I am really excited to see what her new book is like. The description is: Constable Jackson Forge intends to make the world safer, or at least the streets of Victorian London. But that's Kit Turner's domain, a swindler who runs a crew that acquires money the old-fashioned way, conning the rich to give to the poor. When a local cab driver goes missing, Jackson is tasked with finding the man, and the only way to do that is by enlisting Kit's help. On the 4th of January, Lindsay Harrel has a new book coming out called All of You Always. This is a contemporary romance. The description reads: Going undercover is Bella's only hope. Her mission: convince Ben to sell his inn, and she'll get the information needed to locate the family she's never known. But the big city executive didn't count on him being so stubborn, so rooted in family and tradition. She also didn't count on him being so attractive and wounded and good. I've read a few of Lindsay Harrel's books now and really enjoyed them. One of my favourite books was The Secrets of Paper and Ink from last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what her new series is going to be like. On the 5th of January, Melanie Dickson has a new book coming out, and it is the first book in her new series. So if you've seen her previous series, the Hagenheim series, which has loads of books, and you're intimidated by that, then maybe you might want to start with this series, which is new and starting this year. I think it's still a fairy tale retelling. The description reads: England 1381. Delia's idyllic life as daughter of an earl is shattered when her father dies and his wife accuses Delia's 7 brothers of treason and murder. Determined to rescue her brothers, Delia secures a position as a seamstress for the Queen. Sir Geoffrey offers her to be her ally, but should she trust him in a court where everyone has an agenda? The Vanishing at Loxby Manor by Abigail Wilson releases on January the 26th. This is a Regency mystery romance. This is a subgenre that I only discovered recently and absolutely have fallen in love with it. This kind of historical mystery romance, historical romantic suspense. I really enjoyed reading her book, In the Shadow of Croft Towers, I think it's called. That was really good fun to read. So I'm really hoping this one's going to be good as well. It's described as: After 5 years abroad, Charity Halliwell finally returns to Loxby Manor, the home of dear friends and her lost love. No longer a young girl, she is now haunted by a painful secret and the demise of her dreams. Instead of the healing and happiness she hopes to find, she encounters a darkness lurking in the shadows of the once familiar house. When her friend Celine disappears the very night of her arrival, Charity is determined to uncover the truth. Her only hope is the man who broke her heart. Till I Want No More by Robin W. Pearson is a contemporary novel releasing on February the 2nd. If Maxine could put her finger on the moment when her life went into a tailspin, she would point back 20 years to the day her daddy died. She tells herself he's the only person who ever really knew and loved her, and if he hadn't left her behind, her future would have taken a different path. But that's over and done with. All grown up now, Maxine has pledged her heart and ring finger to Theodore Charles, At least that's what she's telling anybody who will listen. Her best friend and family aren't having it, and apparently neither is the newly returned JD, who seems intent on toppling Maxine's reconstructed life. The Prince of Spies by Elizabeth Camden is the third novel in her Hope and Glory series. It releases on February the 16th, and this is a historical romance with some other things added into it. This third book follows Luc Delacroix and Marianne Magruder, the congressman's only daughter whose job as a government photographer gives her unprecedented access to sites throughout the city. I can't give you more of the plot than that because there'll be spoilers for the other two books, and I haven't actually read the second book yet. I have it, but I haven't read it yet, and I enjoyed the first book, so I'm hoping that the second and third will be good ones to read as well. The Paris Dressmaker by Kristy Cambron is a World War II romance that releases on the 16th of February. I've enjoyed all of the books that I've read so far by Kristy Cambron, so I'm really excited to read this new one. I love the cover as well, it's so pretty. Paris 1939, the closing of Maison Chanel thrusts haute couture dressmaker Lila de Laurent out of the world of high fashion and into occupation as Nazi soldiers invade the streets. Lila is drawn to the resistance and is soon using her skills as a dressmaker to infiltrate the Nazi elite. But when dashing René Touliard suddenly re-enters her world, Lila finds her heart tangled in the determination to help save his Jewish family. Paris 1943. While cataloguing priceless works of art stolen from prominent Jewish families, Sandrine Paquet uncrates an exquisite blush Chanel gown concealing a cryptic message that may tell the fate of a dressmaker who's vanished from within the fashion elite. 3 Missing Days by Colleen Coble is a mystery and suspense novel, a romantic suspense novel that releases on April the 6th. This is the third book in her Pelican Harbour series, and you do need to read them in order with this series. Some of her books I've read are kind of different characters but in the same place through the series, but this one follows the same detective throughout, and the personal life of her story continues through from book 1 to 3. So there's different mysteries in each one, but there's still like a continuing story that's going through, so definitely read them in order. But the mystery plot in this one follows Chief of Police Jane Hardy plunged into the investigation of a house fire that claimed the life of a local woman as well as one of the firefighters. It's clear the woman was murdered, but why? The unravelling of Jane's personal life only makes the answers in the case more difficult to find. 3 days of Jane's past are missing from her memory, and that's not all that has been stolen from her. Bookshop by the Sea by Denise Hunter is a romance novel that releases on April the 13th. Denise Hunter is a really popular Christian fiction author, and one that I haven't read anything by yet, so I thought I might as well start with her newest novel. The description reads, after her mother was bedridden and her father bailed on the family, Sophie became a second mother to her twin brother Seth and younger sister Jenna. Sophie supported her siblings through their college years, putting aside her own dream of opening a bookshop in Piper's Cove. But now it's finally time for Sophie to follow her own pursuits. Jenna is set to marry her college beau in Piper's Cove, but the destination wedding reunites Sophie with best man Aidan Maddox, her high school sweetheart, who left her without a backward glance to run an extreme sporting business in Florida. The Nature of a Lady by Roseanna M. White is a historical romance releasing on the 4th of May. I've enjoyed the Code Breakers series. I've still got one more book to read in that one, so I'm interested to see what her new series is going to be like. 1906, Lady Elizabeth Libby Sinclair, with her love of microscopes and nature, isn't favoured in society. She flees to the beautiful Isles of Scilly for the summer and stumbles into the dangerous secrets left behind by her holiday cottage's former occupant, also named Elizabeth, who mysteriously vanished. Oliver Tremaine, gentleman and clergyman, is determined to discover what happened to his sister, and he's happy to accept the help of the girl now living in what should have been Beth's summer cottage. So again, that seems like a romance and a mystery combined, which is something that I love. Jewel of the Nile by Tessa Afshar is a biblical fiction book releasing on June the 8th. I haven't read a whole lot of biblical fiction books, but this one sounds interesting to me. Whispered secrets about her parents' past take on new urgency for Sherilyn as she pays one last visit to the land of her forefathers, the ancient kingdom of Cush. Raised as an orphan by her aunt, Sherilyn has only been told a few pieces of her parents' tragic love story. While there, Sherilyn overhears that her father is still alive, and discovering his identity becomes her obsession. Both her grandfather and the Queen have reasons for keeping this secret, however, and forbid her quest. So when her only clues lead to Rome, Sherilyn sneaks on the ship of a merchant trusted by friends. Shadow by Cara Swanson is the sequel to her book Dust. It releases on July the 21st, and when I was doing the research for this I couldn't find a description for it, but it continues to follow the Neverland series, which is like a sequel to Peter Pan. The first book left with lots of questions over what was going to happen next, and so I am really excited to know what is going to happen next. Finally, The Mozart Code by Rachel McMillan is a World War II fiction, or just after World War II fiction, that is not listed as Christian fiction, but I did find that there were some elements of it in the first book, and it's published by Thomas Nelson, who also published Christian fiction. It releases on August the 17th. I listened to the first book in this series, it was really good, so I hope the second book will continue in that vein. Lady Sophia Huntington Villiers is no stranger to intrigue, as her work with Alan Turing's bomb machines at Bletchley Park during the war attests. Her wartime marriage of convenience to Simon Barr, the 8th Earl of Camden, granted her the independence she craved and saved his estate. Now, as part of his covert team in post-war Vienna, she uses her charm to uncover a lethal double agent immersed in the world of relics, including the long-lost death mask of Mozart. When Sophie's allegiance is questioned, Simon is torn between his duty to the crown and saving the woman who might have betrayed his cause and his heart. So I've got quite a few romantic suspense, romantic mystery books on there. Let me know in the comments any books that you are excited about that are coming out next year. I'm sure there will be a lot more that I want to read that come out in the latter half of the year, so I'll probably do another video somewhere in the middle of the year when I know more about which books are coming out in autumn. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do if you want to see more Christian fiction videos. And until next time, have a great reading week or a few days, and I'll see you again. Bye!